Sorry about my late review of One Piece episode 882. And to be honest, I wasn't sure if I was going to review One Piece this week just because of the way it was structured again. So for the better part of 2 episodes, we've been introduced to the flashback of Marineford. I don't know why. Well, I do know why. It's because of budget. Well, not budget issues. Basically, pacing issues due to the fact that trying to work on the movie, film Stampede, and in July we got Warner. So to instead of juggling both and having a filler arc, which I would have appreciated more, they're stretching out these episodes a little bit more. I don't really like it, but I understand it. That being said, though, by the end of this episode, we're officially out of flashback, and there's no flashback next week whatsoever. And they did introduce Green Bull, the final Admiral in the Marines. So I thought, okay, you know what? Let's do it. Unlike last week's episode where it started off with actual canon, with the new Marineford being explained to us how it's stronger than the previous one that Whitebeard tore down back in the day, how it looked like McDonald's, about the fact that Fujitora was at the Holy Land with Marijoa chilling out, and the Marines couldn't do shit because the Holy Land Marijoa doesn't fall under the jurisdiction of the Marines, so Alcaino is completely powerless. And we know from after Dressrosa where the hierarchy ranks when it comes to the government. But the only thing you can really pinpoint is the fact that Fujitora and Sengoku are there. We don't see Suru anywhere. And we know they took on Jack and they kicked his ass. So, and they have 4 Marine ships escorting Doflamingo to Impel Down. So I can only assume that the fact that Suru isn't there, she's with them. But she could be over at Impel Down because she was supervising Doflamingo. So I'm pretty sure we're going to see him soon, if that's the case. I just thought that was a minor observation to make. That's from last week's episode. But after that, we got introduced to the flashback. So it took us the better part of 2 episodes to get us out of flashback and into the stuff that matters. And to be honest, I skipped ahead most of this episode right up until the 17-minute mark. And that's where things, okay, we get kind of acceptable. We get some exposition, a reminder, if you will, about the layout of where Marineford HQ was at, Navy HQ, and then you got the Holy Land Marijoa up above the red line. So we kind of knew that already, but it's cool that we're getting a map of this. And right away, you kind of see how things are structured. But things pick up when we get introduced to the guests. Now, the guests are from each of the kingdoms. We know some of the kingdoms already. We're going to get Stelly, Sabo's brother, who was seen in the preview, so that should be fun. But there's a lot of ties with Otohime, the mother, Queen Otohime, the mother of Shirahoshi, about how she viewed the outside world. Not to play a role this in the Reverie as well. And it makes sense how she's been. We get introduced to Queen Morlon of the Tanjin Kingdom. She's quite cute. Albeit the 6th of the Roshuan Kingdom. Now, when I saw that, if you notice the hat, that could be a take on Russia. Then you got introduced to King Taco, and they're not even hiding that fact. King Taco from their version of Mexico. But the description of the kingdom is the kingdom of the dead. And I wonder if there's any relationship to Gene the Bandit from the tournament or the Colosseum in Dressrosa. We saw Gene the Bandit, so I wonder if that's any relation to King Taco, or at least the Kingdom of the Dead. We get introduced to the Ryokugyu Kingdom, King Neptune, the Neptune brothers, Shirahoshi, and it makes sense why she'd be apprehensive about not coming out, because it's the first time she's been on the outside world. That's been heavily teased since Luffy bumped into it. She wanted to see the forest in the outside world. That's been a goal. But come to find out they're being escorted by Garp, which makes sense because you had Hina, who's escorting Vivi in the Kingdom of Alabasta. You have Kobe, who was escorting the Kingdom of Dressrosa. Viola, Rebecca, King Riku, even Isabella and the Tantaras. And now you have Garp, the grandfather of Luffy, escorting the Ryokugyu Kingdom to Marineford. And we know they're going to go up to Marijoa in the next episode. So that's how the episode ends. Well, it kind of ends there. Then it shifts over. I gotta say, it's cool to see Shirahoshi in a new design. That visual was kind of linked on Twitter for me, so I kind of knew what it was going to be. But it's just cool to see it for the first time. She's wearing a blue shirt compared to the yellow one. So that's kind of cool. We go over to the Holy Land, find Fujitora chilling out with Green Ball, and he's in silhouette. But the voice actor I thought was pretty cool. It's the same voice actor as Leonidas from Hunter x Hunter, so that was a neat choice. He's a gourmet chef because he's cooking noodles for Fujitora, and right away Fujitora says, "Are you here to fight me?" Because Al-Qaeda just sent the Green Ball to come get Fujitora away from Murajoa and stop this technicality. And Green Ball's like, "No, Admiral Ryokugyu is not here to fight. He's here to cause the scene yet." So we get an interesting conversation for a minute, and the most important thing to note here is Green Ball asks Fujitora, "Oh, did you bump into Vegapunk?" And Fujitora's like, "Yeah, but I couldn't see him because of my blindness." But he did develop something very interesting to the fact that we don't need the Shichibukai system anymore. And that's Fujitora's goal, to abolish the Shichibukai system because it's so corrupt, especially with the likes of Crocodile and Doflamingo, even Boa Hancock doing whatever the fuck they want. The fact that they have Vegapunk created something that powerful that they don't need the Warlord system, I'm curious what that is, and if we're going to see Dr. Vegapunk at some point. We know Tashigi and Smoker were on their way to see him about the kids from Punk Hazard, so, but we do know he has a connection with not only Caesar Clown, but also Judge from the Vince Smokes. So
right away we get a insight into Admiral Ryokugyu, or Admiral Greenball, and his personality. He seems to have a thing for the ladies. He's a gourmet, a chef, because he was cooking noodles for Fujitora. And the last comment he made sticks out like a sore thumb. He pretty much says that he hasn't eaten in 3 years. Now, I wonder if that's a hint to his devil fruit type of ability. We can assume he has a devil fruit. So we know Kizaru has devil fruit. He's a light Logia. We know Fujitora has a gravity type of a devil fruit, and we also know Akainu has the magma Logia. And also back in the day, Aokiji had the ice Logia. So maybe because it's to do with vegetation, and because he hasn't eaten in 3 years, maybe he has a plant type devil fruit. I don't know. There's always been that theory that maybe there's a grass Logia or a plant Logia type devil fruit user with one of the admirals. So could that possibly be the case? But either way, I thought it was kind of cool.
Would have been there, but then I see the preview and looks like Sabo's doing his thing. Now it's interesting because they didn't have Sabo highlighted as much in the manga up until the point he went. Spoiler alert is in the suit of armor, but we already see him infiltrating Murajoa, so he's put in the work. So I'm not complaining about that fact. Anything's better than the flashbacks that we've been getting. So if they want to highlight Sabo more, by all means, do that. But it looks like he's going to be making his move, and like I said, you're going to be getting Sabo's brother Stelly in the next episode. On top of that, Shirahoshi is going to make her way to Murajoa, the whole land, and we know, and it makes sense why one of the last kingdoms to arrive, because they have the shortest distance to go. We know, in fact, the Ryuga Kingdom, the Fisherman Island, is directly below Marineford. So it's cool how Garp was the one that escorted Shirahoshi. And I wonder if she knows that Garp is the grandfather of Luffy. But it's kind of cool. Ryukugyu, even though we got him in silhouette, we still got his design in the anime, finally. That appearance very, very tight-lipped, so I can't wait to see what they do with that. Because it's obvious things are about to go down, especially if the Revolutionary Army are coming into town. It makes sense why both admirals are there. We know Kizaru is chilling out with Akainu, so all the admirals are there. Well, those are my thoughts. Please tell me yours in the comments below. That's going to do it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Like this review if you did. Subscribe to the channel for more One Piece. Catch you guys later. Thanks, guys. Bye.